Jai Hind to all. My name is Aarti Chaudhary, and today's topic is transport layer, which we see in a computer network. This is a fourth layer we see in a computer networks. We're starting from the basic layer, that is data link layer. Then we are having a physical layer, data link layer, network layer. This is a fourth layer will see. So what the data is coming from the data application layer and then going to the network layer. So that in between we are having a that layer is a transport layer we are having. What are the things we can do in a transport layer? That is a packetization. We need that we have to arrange a packet, and the packet has to be sent to the source to destination. Then we are having the main concept come is packetization, in which we add the sequence number to it. So we are having a different see the different protocols we will see in that. TCP also, UDP also, SCTP also, in which we will use a packetization technique. There was a different techniques we will see that when we attach a sequence number to it, what will happen to it, sequence we are having an acknowledgement to it, then after the data will transfer, we will see in that. All that thing is this connection control, that is a connection control, that is a oriented and a less. There was a two concept we will see in a transport layer, that is a connection oriented and connection less. Connection oriented, we will see that when we are transferring a data, we will have a three-way handshaking protocol. So what are the thing we will see in that protocol? What are the advantage of using a connection oriented? What is the advantage and disadvantage of both the way? Reliability, when we are seeing that it is directly indulge with the connection oriented and armature. When we are saying connection oriented, so we will say the connection is reliable. If we are saying a solution or less, then we will say that it is a less unreliable protocol. The quality, in then we are saving the quality of the service and the congestion control by using a error control and flow control part. So these are the application. These are the characteristics of using the transport layer in this. When the data is coming from the application layer and going to the network layer at the receiver sender side. So we will see that these are the duties we are having: a transport layer, packetization, error control, addressing, and reliability. We will see that. So what is a when we will see a transport layer, we will see two terms, that is a connection oriented and connection less. In connection oriented, we will see that every segment will have a independent path, independent packet, and we have to deliver from source to destination. So there is a no when we are seeing the connection oriented less, we don't know they are independent to each other. There is no connection between that. They are no sequence number also. They are independent to each other. We don't know about what is lost, what is duplicated. We don't know about that. But in a connection oriented, we have a connection to the source to destination. Then after we will send a packet from, and then the data is terminated, the which is used by a three-way handshaking protocols. We will see that. So in the connection less, there was no need of having a sequence number and other things without when we have sent to a send a data from source to destination. But in a connection oriented, we will see that the data has to be sent from source to destination. You have to be here maintain a line of data starting of the data, that is a connection establishment, and then after data transferring, and then the data has to be connection has to be terminated into a connection oriented method. So in the connection oriented, we are using a connection less and connection oriented. In the connection less, we will see the UDP, user datagram protocol, which is using the connection or less protocol. But in a connection oriented protocol, we have a TCP, that is an SCTP protocols, which is use a relation between a source to destination by using a three-way handshaking protocols. So in the presentation, we will discuss about the one connection less protocol and one connection oriented protocol. What are the how can they will transfer the data, how can we will the data, what is the header of the UDP TCP, we will see in the upcoming slides of it. Before that, what are the ports, what is the transport layer working, all we will see that. So we know that in a case of we will see a transport layer, this is a process to process delivery. But there was three terms we will use in a computer in a graph in a computer networks, that is a host to host delivery, and node to node delivery, and source to destination delivery, and next is process to process delivery. So we will see that in the transport layer, they're using a process-to-process delivery in a transport layer. But in a network layer, they use a source-to-destination delivery. When you are using a hop-to-hop invasion, that is done by the data link layer in which we are using. So the transport layer is used for the process-to-process delivery. When the data is transferred from one data is transferred from process to another. This is the delivery is done by the transport layer. The transport layer is responsible for the process to process delivery. So in this structure also, there is a process which is running on the source side. It will see that the process is other running on the destination side has to be, there was a process to process delivery. But when we are saying that host to host delivery, this is a host and this is a destination. So at source, there was any process running, and at the host we are having a port number. So this is run on a port number. When we are having a port number, at here we having a IP address, at here we are having a MAC address. So this is take care by the DDL, this is take care by the network layer, and this is take care by the transport layer. So at the MAC layer, they will having a host-to-host delivery. This is taken by the data link layer. At the network layer, we are having an IP address. We are assigning a source and destination address. That's why we are saying that host to source to destination delivery. And then we are having at that host or destination, we are having any process running. So by using a port number, we will identify it, and then after we will make a call to that this process is here. This is the delivery of this process to process. So we are having a port number also. There is a concept of port number. When we are having this is a 52,000 port number. So we have to deliver at coming from this and deliver to 13. Then data is coming from here. This is so this is destination and this is source, and this is this is a source and this is a destination from where we have to transfer this port number. So we are having a IP address. When we have to identify the IP address by the network layer. It will identify when the data is coming from the network layer to the transport layer. They will identify the port number at this machine. This port number, the process is running. We have to transfer this is here. The first we have to IP is identifying the host, and the port number is identifying the process in it. So we are a IANA. We are having an Internet Assigned Number Authority. We are having 65,535 port we can assign it. So this is a range from 0 to 1023 is a well-defined ports. 104 to 49,152 is a registered ports, and from this 52 to 65,000 these are the dynamic ports we are having. So these are the these much we are having the port numbers here. So we are having a socket address. Socket address is what? When we are combining our IP with our port number, then we are saying that this is the socket address we are using here. So in the case of transport layer, they are using a multiplexing and debusting. When process 1, process 2, process n will have a multiplexing, and they will combine into this and then making a IP. Because they are coming from the transport layer, then they are going for network layer, then they are going from the receiver side, they are demultiplexing at this phase. So there was one-to-many, many-to-one relationship into it. Then there's a error control also. In this, we are having a pink thing where there's a pink line, then there is a error is checked by the path by the data link layer. But at this layer, at here black line we are having. So all that black line, error is not checked by the path by data link layer, because in that part only they have our internal error check will be there by using a checksum and all that. But no data link is indulged, because data link part is main characteristic is error control by using CRC, Hamming code, and VRC, LRC. All these are used for the error control, flow control part. Aloha and all that. So pure Aloha and slotted Aloha. So we are using in here is a inbuilt error checking technique, but at the here network layer or transport layer, there is no inbuilt internal we have our error control, but at the external we are not having error control. So we know that the connection oriented and connection less. Connection oriented, we don't have any connection between and less is a connect, no connection established or no connection delivery. The data has a packet don't delay. They don't know about the delay and the loss of the packets. They have no acknowledgement also. They have, I mean, the UDP is using a connection less oriented. Then is connection oriented. We are having a established connection between them, source and destination. TCP or SCTP is well using that connection oriented approach. The reliable and non-reliable, we know that if we are using connection oriented, this is definitely a reliable source of it. And we are using connection less, we are unreliable of it. Okay. This is the position of UDP, TCP, and UP to suit. We are having a physical layer and we are having a LAN and WAN. We are using IP, ARP, RARP in a network layer. Here is the position of the transport layer between the network layer and the application layer. These layers are used as an interface to it, and these layers are used for process to process delivery. So these are the tools as connection oriented and reliable source, and this is a connectionless and unreliable source for it. So we will see that one by one. We will see the TCP also, UDP also, one connection oriented and connection less oriented. We know that TCP is a connection oriented approach in which we have a error control mechanism also. We have into it. So these are the well-known ports which is TCP used at daytime. Return the date and time. Discard. You have to discard any tab packet. Users, what are the activities? These are the inbuilt well-known ports used by the TCP into it. Okay, so then there was a stream delivery when we are sending a process from TCP. There was a stream of the bytes because we have to establish a relationship between a source to destination first, and then after we will send it to it. So we are having a sending and receiving buffer also at the source and destination side. When we are having these are send, these are not send, these are read, these are not reads, and all that is calculated by the sending and receiving buffer to it. We are having a TCP and merchant bagman. The byte of the data is to be transferred in every connection is being numbered because we are using a connection oriented. So when we are sending first, second byte, third byte, fourth byte, everyone is having a sequence of data has to be sent. So we are having a numbering into it. The number is generated starting from random variable, and then after they will increment it one by one according to that. So we are having a sequence of numbers. When we have to send a 10,000, the 10,000 once it 11,000 sequence number, they will do the 10,000. What starting with 10,000, and they are using a 1,000 byte has to be transferred at every data packet to it. So every sequence number is defined as a number, first number, which because we are sending a this, so it will included a 1,000 bytes of the data starting from it. The next byte is 11,001. It is a static byte, and then after it was included a 1,000 into it. Okay, the every acknowledgement we define the next byte what they are expecting to receive to it. The acknowledgement has to be cumulative. Cumulative means they are not sending one. If I am sending one, they are not giving us acknowledgement to it. They will give a, if I receive a 10, then they will send acknowledgement of 10. They have received a 10 byte, and then after they are expecting a 11th byte of it to it. This is a TCP sorry, TCP segment header we are using. We are having a header. This is a data part, which is it is a 16 bits. So source port address is we are having, destination port as is a 16 bit. We are having sequence number of what is the sequence number of that packet is to be acknowledgement number 32 bit. Then we are having a header part, header length. So we are having a header length of 4 bits. Then there is reserved, TCP is reserved with that. These are the 6 flags we are using: urgent, acknowledgement, push, reset, synchronous, and finish. मतलब we have to end the conversation. This is the window size we are having. Checksum. This is the internal error part we are using in that TCP/IP part. This is the urgent pointer. This is the options and pending we are using into it. So these are the these are the 6 flags which are using. This is the first flag. This is the urgent pointer. This is valid. If this is valid, this is the urgent pointer. We will use it. Acknowledgement is the when we are sending a source address data to this, they will give a acknowledgement. This is the acknowledgement part, A part. This is a push. We have to push any request, which is a push part. R is for reset the connection. Reset, we have to send the data. If many lost or duplication is there, we have to reset the connection. This is the synchronous of the bits which we are using, and this is the termination of the connection we are having in our part. So these are the things we are the 6 flags we are using to it. So these are the description of that flags. So we will see a 3-way handshaking protocol we will use in a TCP/IP. Starting from acknowledgement synchronous part. So this is the acknowledgement A and this is synchronous S. They are both are active because we are sending a, so this is a connection establishment part. Because we know that when we are using connection oriented approach, we will have a first part as a connection establishment. Second part is data transfer. Third part is when we have a connection, we have to terminate that connection. So that part has to be also there. So we will say there was an active connection from the client side. We have a sequence number of 8,000 randomly selected number 8,000. Then we are having a and S synchronous part. We will sending it. This is a passive connection. Then we are having acknowledgement when sequence number 8,000 is received. We will have an acknowledgement 8,001 at the receiver side to the sender side. This is a sequence number of the acknowledgement. We are starting with 15,000. This is a synchronous bit acknowledgement bit. This is synchronous bit. Then at the side of this, they will have acknowledgement. This is a H sequence because we are not sending any data to it. We are having a acknowledgement part that is a increment in a acknowledgement bit because 15,000 is to be received. We have an acknowledgement of 15. So we are given acknowledgement of this. This is a acknowledgement this. And then this is a 2-way handshaking will be there at the sender receiver side. This period will the 3 messages will send to it and they will say it that data has to be come into our picture, and then after data has been sent by this connection because this is a secure connection we have established to it. Okay, so these are the things we will see in a synchronous. This is the first we are saying we don't carry our data because at the starting we don't carry any data. It will consume one sequence number, only one sequence number of it. Acknowledgement and ACK synchronous bit, we can't carry any data to it because it will consume only a sequence number because all these things are not carrying a data. Well, they are used to establish the relationship between the source and destination. Next, we are having an acknowledgement where they also not carrying a data, but it can no consuming of the sequence number to it. Okay. Then the second part is the data transferring when we are having a sequence number 8,000 acknowledgement at this. So A and P, that is a push flag is active. We have a 1,000 bytes has to be from source to destination. Next 9,000 they are saving a measure. So they are sending a cumulative. I'm saying cumulative acknowledgement to it. We are not sending the 1 by 1 byte conversion. So 2,000 bytes has to be received. So there was a acknowledgement of 10,001 at the website, and these bytes they have expecting other to it. So they are having a other sequence number, and this is the acknowledgement to it. So at the source size also they are having a data transfer at the destination side. So at the source size there was 8,000 to 10,000. There is a 15,000, 17,000 has to be data to be transferred from the both way also. So this is the last phase of the 3-hand shaking is that is a termination of the connection. So they are having an active of acknowledgement and the finite FIN bit. So sequence number this So this is a Y sequence number. So this is increment here, and this is acknowledgement plus finite. This is an increment of this. So in this way, we are saying that we are not transferring any data. They are saying that we have to close this relationship. So they are finite. Then they will have fin plus acknowledgement, and then after last they are having acknowledgement. So in a fin byte where they don't have they only consume a sequence number, no data is transferred. In a fin plus acknowledgement, they will one sequence number is there, but no transferring of data, other bits. So in the acknowledgement also, they are not having not consuming any sequence number, but they are not sending any image. So no data is transferred here because the transfer phase is this. So the no data is transferred here, but only there was a termination of the connection which is established in the TCP/IP protocol. So all this we are having in a TCP model. Then we are using a UDP model. UDP is the user datagram protocol in which we are process to process delivery, but it is a connection-less and unreliable network we are using it. So what are the advantages when we are using that? Why we are using a connection-less protocol? But what is the need of using it? Because connection oriented, we have a need because we have need a secure network. Data is transferred. If data is not transferred, if data is lost, duplicated, we get to know about it. But in the case of UDP, we don't know about this data is transferred or not. So how can we know that the data is not transferred? So why we are using this UDP? This is the main question coming to UDP. So why we are users? We will see that this is the connection unreliable protocol. We don't lead any services, IP services, process to process delivery, host and host to delivery. It will check it, but they was limited to a error checking also. But why this is this powerless protocol if we are not using a connection oriented method? No, it is simple protocol with having a minimum overheads, but the process is to make that if we want to send a small message, every message, if we are on any broadcasting, so we don't need any information, so any connection. If one person is not receiving that message, don't we don't think that if not they are not getting a message, so they will ask from other persons also. They will get to know about by other sources also, but we will get a broadcasting. For example, government have to announce anything, so they will broadcast any message to every message, every phone and all that. If other phone is not active, not reachable, so they will not get a message. But this is making a no overhead to it. If any message is saying, if there's a minimum overhead, because we are seeing the broadcast message, then this UDP is used. They don't care about the reliability. They don't create about the connection oriented approach. They just want to send a message, broadcast a message without a less minimum overhead. Minimum overhead is when we are using connection less approach. If in a connection oriented, there was a establishment part, then there was a second part is data transfer and then termination. But in the case of UDP, you don't need any connection oriented approach. They only use a connection. You will send it to the every source and every destination that this is message. If they receive, okay. If they don't receive, that's perfectly fine for us, because we are having a minimum overhead to it. That's the thing we are using. So this is a main advantage of using the UDP here. These are the well-known ports used by the UDP also. So these are the services we use for that. We have a GRAPE protocol, which is after FTP. What a port number which you use in 21. 21 is a port number used for this. At the SMTP trap 161, 162. These are the ports assigned to the SNMP protocol. This is a header which is used for this. This is a 16-bit port number, 16-bit destination number, total length, and the checksum. When we are having a total length, then what is a UDP length? The UDP length is equals to IP length minus the IP header length. We will get a UDP length of it. So this is a pseudocodes of checksum, because we are having also a checksum header, and at the internal line we will see that the checksum also. So what are the operation of using the UDP? That is connection less approach. error flow control, we are not using it. So this is we are having a no error and flow control into it. We are having a checksum part. We will see that if the data is not we will don't see our data duplicacy, data lost, acknowledgement, because we are not having an acknowledgement part from the receiver side. So that is the thing, we doesn't get an acknowledgement, so we don't know that the data is lost, duplicated, we don't know about that. If there is an error comes from that, the receiver detect an error through the checksum, and they will send it back. That is seriously discard it. That message is not perfect for you because there was an error to it. But the lack of error part means the UDP making a this. So this is a less part. We will see that UDP will having a checksum to it. Encapsulation, decapsulation, we were having into it. So that is there as a queue. This is a client server queue. This is the incoming. This is the outgoing, and this is incoming queue, which is having a UDP. So this is a suitable uses of UDP, and is a less powerful protocol of this. The UDP is suitable for the process that require a request and response communication, which will little concern about the flow and error control. In this, we need a bulky data. When we have to send a bulky data, if the government want to send any message to every individual, so this is the definitely use the UDP, not the TCP protocol. The UDP is having an internal flow and error control mechanism by using a TFTP protocol into it, because why we are having a column of checksum here, so we will see that the data has to be corrupted or not, error we are having to it. The suitable for multicasting approach. When the data is having a capacity, so we are multicasting, we are using that approach. And there were some other routing protocols, RIP, that is routing information protocol, in which we are using. So the main difference between using a TCP and IP, because the connection oriented less approach, when you want to send a bulk of data, you use a UDP. If you want to send a reliable connection, and there is no possible person will indulge into it, those known changes, error control, flow control, connection, every packet have to be have an acknowledgement, you will use a UDP approach. So this is the main difference between using a TCP and UDP approach. Okay, next we are having this. Thank you.